Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Friday career Q&A. We're going to get started in just a second. Let me go ahead and go live. Make sure we're giving a quick moment to stream across our different platforms here. And I hope you're having a good Friday so far. We are live across Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. So please don't be shy in sharing in the chat where you're joining us from. Always love to get reacquainted. We're going to be getting going in just a moment. Going to give a quick grace period here. I see some amazing folks over on Instagram already trickling in. If you see me looking a little bit left and right, it's because we've got multiple platforms that we're streaming here at once. But I love bringing all of us here together. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. It's great to have you all here. If this is your first time joining me for one of our Friday live career Q&As, well, welcome. We're going to get started in just a second and give a quick lay of the land. Okay, we are live. We are live everywhere. I could see on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So please do join us on the platform that is best for you, where you feel the most comfortable to ask questions. I always like keeping this pretty informal. And if you are new here, well, welcome. My name is Tiffany Human. I love doing these lives with you every Friday, typically around 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I am a former L'Oreal exec turned career coach, and I focus on supporting amazing women to grow faster in terms of promotions and land better roles and communicate with confidence and all of the things in between that we actually never learn how to do, but are the things that actually matter in driving your growth and new opportunities coming your way. And I'm so happy to have you here because we like to keep this again as a safe space to ask questions that you have, get support on your burning career questions or what's challenging for you right now, and give you some real time coaching, some real time guidance to set you up for a lot of success in that. And I always love the questions that you guys come with. It keeps it really fun and dynamic. I see, Minu, so good to have you here for growth. Yes, I love that. I love that energy. That's what we're here to do. It doesn't have to be complicated, but I do know there is a lot of information out there. And one of the themes that I had kind of coming into today's live Q&A, just from a lot of questions that I'm getting through our community, in my DMs, through my content, is just changes that we're seeing in the market right now. And one of the questions that I had earlier this week was just with a lot that is happening with company changes, restructures, layoffs, what kind of trends am I seeing in terms of coaching support and what it actually takes to reach the goals that you have, whether that is that promotion, landing a better role, a more senior position, still growing in the way that you want, despite some of these challenges or uncertainty. And I'm going to share a few of the insights that I was sharing with them that I thought could be helpful for all of you today. And just to make sure you're focusing on the right things in the right way, right? A few things off the bat, if you are exploring new opportunities, I will say that online applications is not what you want to bank your energy on. It's been like that for a while, but I will say it's even more the case right now where there has been become more competition, but also it's just not the thing that's going to help you stand out. And a lot of what we cover here together in the live Q&As with me every Friday is doing the strategies that are proactive, that are intentional, that are creative, that others don't instinctively think to do. So you get the leg up, you stand out, and you land your roles faster. That's what we're seeing with our clients who are landing their roles as quickly as 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So things can move really quickly when you're doing it the right way. And so applications on their own are not going to cut it. And so if you are orienting a lot of your time and energy towards that, we're going to try to shift that for you. I will say relationship building, networking, and getting yourself out there in front of others who can influence decisions around your growth, both internally and for new companies, is absolutely where you want to spend much more of your energy. And in doing that, you want to be able to elevate your presence and project yourself into that next level role. So I'm going to give some different strategies that will help you on that today. But just as a quick reminder, as everyone is trickling in, first off, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to have you back. Please say hi in the chat if you haven't already. I'm just going to be pulling up a few things over here on my side to make sure we're seeing everybody over on LinkedIn, on YouTube, as well as over on Instagram. And if you have any burning questions, please already just drop them in the chat. We're going to try to get through as many as we can. I simply wanted to open today's live with some of the insights that I'm seeing that what's really making the difference to land better roles and grow faster, especially in today's climate. And so I was just reiterating that, applications alone is not going to cut it. Like it's certainly not anymore. And where we want to put a lot more emphasis is on relationship building and networking strategy and getting you in front of the right people who can influence those growth decisions, right? And so, for anyone that's tuning in here, if you're feeling a little uneasy about that, if you're like, I know I need to do this, but I'm not really sure where to start, probably my best recommendation is to start with your existing network. So, let's say you're looking for an entirely new role in a new organization. Already start going through your existing network, let's say on a platform like LinkedIn, and literally go through it with a fine tooth comb and go through each connection that you have that's already established, see where they work, what is their job title, what were some of their recent roles, are there anyone there that you kind of emulate to be like or aspire to be like or see a path that is very exciting for you, someone that you can learn from? And you're going to create your short list of contacts from that you will then have direct reach outs with. Okay. Why I recommend starting with the initial existing connections is because you're already connected to them. So that's half the battle right there, right? You can simply re engage instead of finding brand new people that might feel like a little bit of a heavier lift to start. And so, if these are people that you're already connected to, you can use the template I'm going to share right now as a quick reach out template. And one of the really important things to do when you are reaching out is start with them, not with you. Okay, we want to make them feel good, we want to make them feel valued. And so, you want to lean in with that. And this could sound something like, you know, hey, Janet, it's been a while since we connected. I've noticed that you've recently stepped into X role within Y company. That is amazing. How has that been going for you? I'm also exploring a next step in my career, and I would love to connect to hear more about you and just catch up. Would you be opposed to a quick chat? Right? And like this, you're ending with a question that is more likely to get a response back versus ending with a statement. You're talking about, in this case, Janet, and a recent update in her career path. So it shows you're paying attention and you're making her feel good about it as well. And it just feels very warm and genuine. Nothing strenuous there, right? Just warm, genuine connection. And you're going to do that across your entire existing network that you've created into that short list. And if you are working in a company and you want to grow in your organization faster, you can take a very similar approach here internally, but I would actually recommend doing it more verbally versus in writing like you would have done maybe on LinkedIn. So this is where you're going to actually reach out to some of these internal stakeholders that you work with. Maybe they're support team members on different functions. Maybe it's some directors on different teams. Maybe it's certain leaders that you really respect. And you're going to find a gateway that makes it feel less awkward to have that initial exchange. So, for example, this is something I was just coaching 3 of our clients on this week, and it's worked extremely well for them. So, I want to share it with you. Is we used a recent meeting where they were within that context with that particular stakeholder. So instead of just reaching out randomly and saying, hey, I want to chat with you, we actually use that as the gateway. And we position the conversation similarly to this, which was, hi, John, I really appreciated what you shared in our recent town hall meeting. What really stood out to me was X. And I believe I can support you further in that as it relates a lot to some of the current work that I'm doing. Would you be opposed to having a quick follow up chat? I'd love to ask some additional questions and get a sense of what your vision is on this in the next 3 to 6 months. So, something like this, again, you're taking the initiative. You're not overstepping your boss or anything like that. It's just coming from genuine curiosity to support and guide others that have influence in your company. And guess what? By doing this repeatedly with other decision makers that you work with, they're going to get a really good impression of you. You are forging a better one on one connection with them. And from here, you're going to have just more people advocating for you and your growth goals because they can attest to you. They can attest to your work ethic. They have a good sense of who you are because you're taking proactive efforts to do it instead of relying on your boss to do that for you. So I can go a lot deeper on this, but I just wanted to open up today's live Q&A with some of these insights if that's helpful for you. And please let me know if that is, if you have any follow-ups on that. because getting proactive and intentional in your relationship building to boost your visibility and exposure is absolutely a must to stand out in today's market, whether for internal growth or external positions as well. So on that note, I'm going to hop back into the Q&A here and see if any questions are coming up. And again, please do let me know where you're joining us from or say hi in the chat. I should be seeing that coming through on my different screens right now. Hey, David, so good to have you here from LinkedIn. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you have any questions that you'd like me to share. And again, if you guys are new here, my name is Tiffany. I'm a former L'Oreal exec turned career coach, and I support amazing women within corporate to land better roles, more senior positions, faster promotions, speak with confidence, build up your executive presence, and especially cover a lot of the things that we never learn how to do that actually go beyond hard and technical skills and are what actually move the needle in getting ahead a lot faster. So if that sounds like something you want to do this year, or you're like, yeah, I'm tired of feeling stuck. I'm tired of feeling stagnant. Like I'm working my ass off and I'm still not where I want to be. Well, you are in the right place because we're going to turn that around together. And in case any of you here that are joining live are not already part of my newsletter, you need to be there because every week I'm sharing deep dive practical steps and actions and scripts and templates that you can use immediately to get ahead and level up. And so if you are joining me over on LinkedIn, it is a free newsletter. Just go to my link in bio on LinkedIn. You're going to see you can access it right from there. And by joining my newsletter, you're going to also get my 50 best scripts to get seen, heard, and promoted faster. And that's already helped thousands of women. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. So if you're joining me over on LinkedIn or on YouTube, just head over to my link in bios, my website, or my descriptions, and you'll see all the links there. And if you are joining us over on Instagram, literally just comment learn on the live right now. So learn, and I'm going to send you the link directly to your DMs where you can join us there. And again, you'll get directly in that the 50 best scripts that I prepared for you to get seen, heard, and promoted faster. So definitely don't be shy. Comment learn over on Instagram. Pick it up over on my LinkedIn or YouTube right after this in my link in bios. You'll find it all there. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up and see. I think there were maybe a few questions that I might have missed earlier. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything. But so many beautiful faces here. I love it. Okay, let me scroll back here. And even if you guys want to let me know too, like what is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? Because that always helps me get really well grounded for these lives. I wanted to again share some of the questions that were coming up in my community this week and just some of the content that I'm doing around a lot of these changes happening and how things are adapting, how my coaching with our clients is adapting towards that. And the beauty of it is we're continuing to see major wins from the work that we do with the women that we serve. And despite everything that's happening, they're continuing to get ahead. So I'm so excited to share some of these strategies with you because I want you to be able to apply them as well. So if you do want to let me know just what is coming up for you right now or what some of the challenges that you're facing are, that's always really useful for me. And I'm just going to kind of just refresh some of these things to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay, so as we're waiting for some of those to come in, again, this is time for you guys to get your questions answered, to get support on the challenges that you're facing. There's really like nothing that we leave off the table. So if you're looking to work through a challenge at work, you're struggling in a certain area, there's something that you feel like you're just like constantly stuck on, please do let me know because I'm here to help and want to ensure that you're getting that support today as well. Okay, fantastic. One of the questions that actually did come up within my newsletter this week, I always prompt our amazing community there for questions coming into my Friday lives. And so one question that came up was how to actually communicate better with executives because they found that in their case, they were not actually showing up as confidently as they could in a recent executive meeting. Where they specifically tripped up. And Jennifer, this is for you if you're joining us. So Jennifer sent us this question, which was, how can I actually sound more confident when presenting to my executives because I tend to ramble or give too much detail? And I get that. That's a really easy trap to fall into because often we're really like passionate and excited about our work. And so we feel like sharing a lot of details is needed with our executive team or that we don't want to miss something that might be important for them. But I'm going to give you guys and Jennifer the guidance that I would always share with this, which is we actually want to look at it the other way around. So instead of starting with all the details that will lead you to probably share too much and get too caught up in keeping up with all the details that you're sharing and actually dilute your message, you want to start with the outcome first of what is the outcome you want from this meeting? What is the outcome that you need from speaking with your executives? Is it an approval, an alignment, a budget allocation, a resource allocation, some type of specific feedback? Whatever it's going to be, there's likely going to be one core outcome that you need. And that's what you really want to optimize your meeting towards. So when it comes to thinking about the details that you're going to share, you want to really think about what are like the three core buckets of messages that you want to pass to get to that outcome. And within those three buckets of messages, you'll probably have some micro messages in there, but it's the right messages that is actually needed to support that outcome. So, for example, if let's say one of your outcomes that you're going for is an approval on a project, right? You've made a whole game plan, you have a direction of a new project that you're leading, and you need approval from your CEO that that is the direction you're going to take. Well, perhaps the three core messages and groupings that you're going to share here, the first one might be the initial context. And in that context, like I said, there might be micro messages. So perhaps there's competitive data. Perhaps there's benchmarks internally of what's been done prior. Maybe there's recent consumer insights that you want to bring in. Maybe like those are your three micro messages in your initial context bucket to set the tone as to why you're going to be doing what you're doing. The second bucket here might be considerations or risks or different factors in your decision making, right? Again, three things that will funnel into that core midsection of your message. And then the third bucket of messaging here might be your recommendations and your ultimate recommendation. So perhaps you're going to have like three different recommendations that you've been contemplating, the rationale as to which one you want to go with, and then your final recommendation plus implementation plan. Again, three messages, right? And that is all structured in a way to reach that outcome faster because you are filtering the info that you need to pass to get your executives, and in Jennifer's case, her CEO, to say yes, and like a really easy yes. And our goal in these meetings with our executives is to make the decisions as easy as possible for them, right? You're the closest person to your area of the business. So that is your role to be able to consolidate that information and ensure that they are getting that in a way that is easy to understand, that helps simplify the info, and most importantly, helps them make an informed decision. So I hope that structure is helpful for you guys. And again, if you like these kinds of insights and strategies and templates and all of that, please be sure to join my free weekly newsletter. I actually publish it 2 times every week. We had our issue go out today. I have them go out on Mondays as well, every Monday and Friday. If you are joining us over on Instagram, please comment learn, and I will send you the details to join us there. And you'll even get my 50 best scripts to get seen, heard, and promoted faster. And if you're joining us over on LinkedIn, be sure to head over to my link in bio and snatch it there right after today's live, or on YouTube. You'll see it in my descriptions over there, but you can also grab it over from my website or on LinkedIn as well, or my website, just tiffanyhuman.com. So either which way, it's hard to not see. And we'll make sure that we get that all set up for you. Okay, fantastic. Oh, hello. We're seeing a few new faces over here trickling in from LinkedIn. Great to have you guys here. Let me scroll back over onto Instagram. And Jennifer, please let me know if that was helpful for you. I'm not sure if you're able to join us live today, but I know you did send us that question earlier. So I'm really glad we were able to get through that together today. Let me see. And again, guys, please don't be shy if there's any challenges that you're going through, any key questions that you have in your career right now, or if you're like, my God, there's just so much information out here, like what's the best way to do this, please let me know. Wonderful, wonderful. Let me know also if you guys are leveraging AI right now, because this is something we are supporting our members in my program on a lot, in leveraging AI to actually get ahead faster and stand out and position you very strategically in your company. So that's just been a really big one, especially in today's landscape, if you will, that if you're not using AI, it's very easy to fall behind. You want to really integrate this in your day to day, whether in efficiency gains that you're getting, ways to streamline your workflow, ways that you can use AI to bring more innovation into your company. I actually just earlier this week completed another workshop for Microsoft. So I am a career coach for Microsoft and some of the teams over there, both at mid-stage levels and in their leadership teams. And this is actually one of the areas that we were focusing on a lot, of how to level them up into more senior roles and how to deal with a lot of the constant change that's happening right now when it comes to AI and some of the initiatives that they're leading there, that are at the forefront of the industry, but also take priority in their own development and make sure that they are finding those pockets of innovation in their role and using that to their advantage. So let me know if that's something that's of interest for you guys to learn a little bit more about. But I definitely want to make sure that I'm prioritizing your questions and make sure that I'm not missing any that are coming through. So please don't hesitate to share those. I'm always just making sure that they're coming through in my chats, okay, and that I'm not missing anything. Oh, I see one here from a Kristen. We're going to come to that. Actually, two Kristen. So first off, Kristen Brand, thank you so much. You are most welcome. Thank you for joining us here. It's wonderful to have you. Seeing some good questions coming over here on LinkedIn. So let me go ahead and grab those. Hello again to David, to Haji, to Kristen, and to also Kristen joining us here. Hi, Tiffany. Something I keep going back and forth on. Do you think action or inaction is more important right now? Action, like making things happen, or pausing to think if the action will yield the outcome we're hoping for. I do think it depends on the circumstances, but would love your take. Oh, this is a great question, Kristen. So her question, just to recap, is what do I feel about, taking action or inaction? And in her definition of inaction is more of like reflection. So by the way, that is still action, even if it's not like outright like doing something, reflecting, taking time for a pause and deciding if this is the right strategy or approach is absolutely action. The way I define inaction is like literally doing nothing, which is typically not what I recommend. So in your case, Kristen, you're right. It does depend on the circumstance of whether you should take action or perhaps take those moments for pause and reflection. I would say, kind of general rule of thumb here, if you're working on a pretty major initiative, something that might have a lot of moving parts or more uncertainty baked in, you actually probably want to take a little bit more time for pause and reflection. And similar to what I was just sharing from Jennifer's question, even think about which kind of data and insights and information might help you move from more of that reflection state to action state. So you could ask yourself questions like, what would success on this initiative look like? Or what type of key performance indicators would mean success for this type of project? Or in 3 months from now, what would I want to see happen with this? Or, based off of the insights that I'm getting from my internal executive team, how can I apply that here? And does that matter for this particular type of project? These are just a few quick examples, Kristen, for you, but you kind of see where my head's going with this, right? Where it's about reflecting on the right things, not just reflecting for the sake of reflecting. And I'm trying to get you to that point where you'll be able to then take intentional action. Whereas if there are situations where you actually have like done this before, or you've got kind of like a good lay of the land, or it's something that's become a little bit second nature for you. And yeah, there might be new information, there might be some different insights that are coming into the mix, but like the foundation is pretty well set and you feel pretty good about that. I would actually shift much more to like take action, even like messy action. You're much better off going for it, experimenting, doing a little bit of initial action steps and then learning from that and adjusting and iterating, as opposed to not taking action and then delaying things that could actually happen more effectively. So that's just like a good kind of benchmark of when you should go full in on action right away versus other moments that might require you to take like pause and reflect, because there is a time and place for both. And I'm going to give you my golden rule of thumb. Okay. And this is also really good, Kristen, for like speaking on the spot, being put on the spot. Let's say you are pretty close to the information and you're like, okay, you're being asked something and you want to take action, you want to answer, you want to respond. Only respond then and there if you are going to be approximately right versus precisely wrong. So what I mean here is if you have enough information and insight in your mind through your data, through your work, to know that the answer you're going to give is pretty close to the actual answer. Like maybe it's going to be a little bit off, but you're like, meh, ballpark, like it's pretty much right around where it needs to be. Go ahead and answer. It's going to build your credibility. It's going to show that you could think on your feet. It's going to show that you've got a really good handle of your knowledge, all of that. But if you're like, gosh, Tiffany, I have no clue. Like, I think it's either going to go this way or that way, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, totally get that. That's where we don't want to be precisely wrong. I would much rather that you take pause and buy yourself some time. And that could sound something like, that's a great question. I do believe we got some more recent data on this in the last few days. I would love to go back and make sure I'm getting the latest information for you. Could I come back to you on this by tomorrow? And then we go from there. So something like that shows still ownership, like you're not taking action, right? Like even if it's not the action of answering right now, you're still taking action, but the action is more of a delayed action while not minimizing your credibility in the moment. So you're buying yourself some time, you're going to be able to go back at the right details or the right info and then come back with the proper information. So that way you're still guiding things forward, you're doing it in a timely way, but not losing any steam or momentum. So, Kristen, let me know if that helps. I just wanted to give you kind of a few different angles on this one. And by the way, it's so good to see you again. I know we were chatting earlier in the week, so happy you had a chance to join me here for my live today. I'm going to do a quick refresh here to make sure I'm not missing any comments or questions that are coming through over on LinkedIn. Again, if anyone of you are joining from YouTube, please do feel free to share any comments there. I'm going to see them come up on my end here as well. And over on Instagram, please be sure to drop any questions that you might have there too. I see another Kristen from LinkedIn is sharing, I'd actually like to hear more about AI, balancing common guidance regarding AI and job searching and tailoring more based on experience I have and how that is actually applied on other sides of the process would be really helpful. Yeah, so there's like so many different ways, Kristen, that you can leverage this. And so in terms of, balancing common guidance regarding AI and job searching, I think that's only just like such a small facet of it, right? Like, of course, you can leverage, tools like Claude or ChatGPT or Perplexity and whatnot, or Notebook LM to actually gain efficiencies in your job search. It could help you in refining your resume, in helping better qualify some of your experiences and make sure that you are articulating it with impact. It can help you streamline some of your reach outs and making almost like a type of template that is really easy for you to see updated every day on your progress and tracking. Those are great ways of building efficiencies. I mean, obviously, you still want to bring your own flair into all of this because it has to have your voice, Kristen. It has to have your seal of approval. But it is definitely good as a foundation to build from. And then I'd say, even beyond that, in terms of leveraging it in your work, this could be a great partner, like as like an AI agent or programming almost like an AI agent in your work. If you have access to that, if your company is supportive of that, that can almost be a great partner to you in getting further ahead in some of your work. So some of the folks that I've been coaching on with this is taking some of the work that they have and actually creating types of prompts and almost guiding principles for AI that is getting them much more efficiencies in what comes up, whether in reporting, in competitive insights, in scanning of, articles online that gives direct insights to their inbox in a very, very efficient fashion every week. So that way they're like constantly on top of like latest news and updates in their industry and are able to speak to that in key moments internally with their senior leaders. So these are just a few different, like really quick examples, Kristen, but there's so many different ways that you can take this. And I think the most important here is leveraging it and being curious. And if I may even suggest, allocating at least a period of time every week to upskill in AI. That could be, doing your own type of prompting and things that are related to your work or job searching. But it could also be just learning about some of the latest updates in AI, some latest keynotes around AI. Wow, one of our members we just supported, and she might be here too, but was just at Viva Tech in Paris, learning a lot more around, AI and what's coming up with some major organizations like NVIDIA. So just a lot of different ways that you can use this to your advantage, but definitely lean into it and give yourself those pockets of moment every week to upskill, to learn, to show you're curious. And don't be shy in your companies to also inquire more around how AI is going to be leveraged more or how you can also support in that, right? It's about elevating you in your role, not about replacing your role. We want to make sure you're using it in a way that's showing growth potential, showing innovation, showing curiosity, and also how you can navigate uncertainty and ambiguity a lot more effectively too. So let me know, Kristen, if that's helpful for you. I see another question coming through here on Instagram. So I'm going to take that one next. This one is from Taurus Rays. Thank you so much for your question. Let me just scroll down here and make sure I didn't miss any earlier ones. But please, guys, don't be shy again. Drop your questions. I should see those coming through so that I could take them live here with you all. Okay, so this question was around, hi, Tiffany. I was informed to increase my executive communication during an interview, but what does that mean? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, well, first, for Taurus Raised, who just asked this question, please be sure to get my 50 best scripts to be seen, heard, and promoted faster. We cover quite a bit that directly elevates your executive level communication. Just comment learn since you're joining me from Instagram. It's part of my newsletter community, exclusively available for you there. So you'll be able to join my newsletter that's published 2 times every week. It's free and so practical and helpful for you with scripts and templates and all of that to get ahead faster. And I'm going to send you my immediate guide of my 50 best scripts. So I think that's going to help you a lot when getting this kind of feedback. For anyone joining on LinkedIn, please head over to my LinkedIn link in bio and you'll be able to grab it there too. Or on YouTube, you can head over on LinkedIn and grab it, or on my website, or in my descriptions over on YouTube, whatever is easier for you guys. Okay, so how do you actually elevate your executive communication during an interview? So, a lot of what this actually means is thinking more strategically around how you can impact in your role the bigger needs of the business. Okay, so it's not so much about just thinking about what your actual immediate expectation is, but projecting yourself into some of the bigger priorities of the company, not just this role, but also where the company is headed, and showcasing that you're already thinking like a few steps ahead. Because a lot of it, when it comes to executive communication, is not just how we deliver our messages that sounds more professional, more polished, more assertive. That's part of it. But it's also about connecting the dots of how you can project yourself further into the business and company goals. So that can actually come in a few different ways. One, it can be coming in the questions that you're asking. So asking questions like, what would you say are the top 3 priorities for someone coming into this role over the next 6 to 9 months? That is a great way of showcasing that kind of executive level communication and foresight. Another one could be is, what is the biggest challenge that we're seeing from an executive standpoint, and how does that translate into this team that I would be joining? Again, kind of connecting these dots, right? Or one of my favorite questions is, what are the top 3 traits found in your most successful leaders? Right? That again shows that you are thinking steps ahead, that you want to grow in this company, that you are thinking about what are those qualities that they value. And the beauty of these types of questions is you can then take those answers and put them into your own answers and reiterate and mirror back to them how you actually showcase that in the experience that you have. Other ways I would say of demonstrating executive level communication is being more assertive in your tone. I actually just did a post on this recently, but where we want to actually end on more assertive down notes when you communicate rather than up notes like this that kind of sound like a question or like we're unsure of ourselves. And I will say, women tend to fall into this trap a lot in the way that we speak. And so just practicing being more assertive in your tonality and ending on down notes, it allows you to really close those statements and make sure your messages land. Kind of similarly to that for Taurus Rays, take pauses when you speak. It helps show that you're much more reflective instead of impulsive. So, for example, we're going to do a quick role play. I know you're not with me here right now, but let's say you and I are in an interview, okay? And you are the interviewer and I'm you, okay? And the interviewer asks you a question, okay? So, if I'm you, instead of jumping right into the answer and saying, yes, so here's an example of that, and da, 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 and this is what I've done, this is how I've done it, this is the result that I've done. Even just taking pause there to reflect can be very powerful. So saying something like, okay, you're asking me the question, and I'm saying, And you see through my body language, I'm acknowledging, I'm looking reflective, I'm taking a quick moment, not long, just, yeah, that is such a good question, and it's actually making me think of one recent experience that I've had where, and then you walk through. Just something like that shows that you are thinking about the right example to share, not just spewing out anything to get through this interview and survive it, right? And so, those are other really good ways of showcasing executive level communication through your body language and through the impact of pausing to drive more impact in your delivery. Another last thing that I would say when it comes to showcasing executive communication in interviews is thinking about impact, not just tasks and execution. So, for example, when you're sharing examples and stories of what you've done, don't focus so much on like what you've done, which is more on the job duty side of it, of like, this is what I've done in my role, but really think about the outcomes and impact that you brought. Because the more that you're showcasing this kind of impact in your answers, the more that they're going to see you as someone that can do that in this company, right? So instead of just saying what you've done or how you've done it and what you were expected to do in a prior role, you really want to share what you've done, how you've done it, and the result or impact that it brought. And pro tip, tie that back to the company in that last bit. So this could sound something like, and based on what I just shared, I'm actually really excited to do more of that here, as I know that's a focal point of this role, and I'm really well equipped to take that on and jump right in, or something like that, right? And so your answers are constantly reaffirming your candidacy for the position, showcasing that you're ready to take action, you're ready to dive in, that there's a really good alignment with what you bring and what they're looking for. So you're constantly closing those gaps and doing it in a way that screams confident, that screams credible, that screams assertive, and also planting the seeds with those other questions, like I shared, that shows you're thinking a few steps ahead. If you can nail all of that, you're going to be in really good shape. And because you're also joining me over on Instagram, if you're interested, just comment interview, because I have an amazing Nail Your Interview training. It's free, and I will send it your way right after this, right into your DMs. So just comment interview for anyone here that is looking for more interview support. You'll love this resource. So if you're joining on Instagram live right now, please do comment interview, and I'll send that free training your way. If you're joining me over on LinkedIn, just send me a DM or comment interview on the comments of the live, and I'm going to share the link with you directly after this as well. And same thing on YouTube. Just let me know. Either hop over on my LinkedIn, or you should be able to see it in my description there as well. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I can tell you this interview support has supported over 15,000 professionals, and I'm consistently getting amazing feedback on that from those who have done it. And if you guys are really eager to learn and just get like all of the strategies, I also have an amazing LinkedIn learning course all around answering common interview questions. We have over 1 million learners. We're just about 1 million learners right now through all of my courses on LinkedIn. And I think you'll really love that one. So if you are joining me on LinkedIn right now, you can actually access it directly from my LinkedIn profile. Just scroll down in my experience section. You're going to see all my courses there, and pick the ones that you want to go check out. They're really, really practical. And if you're joining me over on Instagram, just comment story, and I'm going to send you all of my courses that you can access for free, including the one on interviews that I was just sharing. But there's some really good ones. There's some on how to fast track your career, how to handle difficult conversations, how to advocate for yourself better, storytelling for influence. So either which way, if you're on Instagram, just comment story. You're going to get all of them. And on LinkedIn, you're going to be able to see all of them accessible to you right on my profile if you just scroll below in the experience section. Okay, amazing. I love that you guys are taking full advantage of this. I love it. We've got a little bit of time left, so let's see if there's any other questions that are coming up here for you guys. I'm going to just refresh the screen once again and make sure that I'm getting everything answered. I love seeing so many beautiful faces here. Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Oh, Kristen, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that reframing helped you earlier. Okay, Kristen, I love that eagerness to go and learn more with AI and execute that. Tyler, love to see that. I will be sharing the link with you just after this for my interview guide. And also, by the way, if you are joining me on LinkedIn, I did actually do a post really recently, just in like the last few days, that has a bunch of my free resources. So if you're just like, if you want a full jackpot, just scroll through my post from like the last few days, you're going to see it. I had all of my free resources listed there in one spot. So really helpful. And that included my LinkedIn courses too, and some of the free trainings that I have on my website at tiffanyhuman.com. So if you guys haven't already, please take a look there. Always happy to help. Okay, we have a question here from Eva. Tips for asking for a title change, no raise necessary. Oh, okay. Interesting. I like that. I'm always a big advocate of trying to get the raise too, but let's answer your question in terms of going for just the title change. The most important thing you can do here, Eva, is demonstrate very clearly the evolution in your role in terms of responsibilities and impact. Okay, so you probably have a title in mind. Maybe you're at manager level and you want to go to senior manager level. The best way to do that is to show what you've done within that manager title, the current one that you have, and be very specific with some of the biggest wins and impact that you've driven. And to make that segue to the next title, you want to have a good understanding about what are those nuances in competencies, in skills, in, let's say, types of responsibilities that are required at that senior manager level. I'm just using this as an arbitrary example, but I think you can go with me on this. Okay, so you'll probably get a sense either from job descriptions internally or people that you've spoken with in your company already operating at that senior manager level of what are some of those traits, qualities, skills, responsibilities that are extra valued or highly valued at that next level of growth. And so when you're framing your storytelling around this, you're going to start with your own evolution in your current title. And then you are going to segue to some of those exact points and saying something like, and knowing that, based off what I've shared and that moving into a senior manager level typically focuses heavily on X, Y, and Z, I've actually already been demonstrating those qualities in my current role. Here's a few recent examples, and I would really love your support in helping me achieve that next level title by X timeline. And so now you've really made a pretty compelling case of showing your own growth and evolution and progress. You've brought relevant data to make that shift to your next title. That's like relevant and internal data that you have. And you're making a very clear ask about the title that you want and the timeline that you want. And you're getting the support, ideally, from your manager to help guide you on that. And you can also have these types of questions and guidance from other stakeholders who are influencing your decision making around promotions too and title changes. Because as much as I wish I could say it's just your manager that matters, it's not. There's normally a whole slew of stakeholders at different hierarchy levels that have a say in that decision. So that's actually a lot of the work that we do with our clients on a day-to-day basis that help them get promoted really quickly, some as quickly as 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and title changes as well. And of course, salary growth too, that's baked into that because we are really closing the gaps and making sure they're reinforcing those allies and relationships with those who influence the decision most importantly. So for you, Eva, we'd probably want to take a similar approach of having this conversation with your boss, but probably also having those conversations with maybe your boss's boss, maybe a VP of your division, getting different perspectives of what they might deem as important to secure that title change. That way, you're doing your homework, you're doing your due diligence, and you're not having the goalpost move when you're doing all the things only for that goal to not happen. I know that's really frustrating when you're like, but I feel like I'm doing all the things, Tiffany, and it's like not coming through. We have to take a proactive stance here. We have to take action and lead that dialogue. And that's what's really going to help you here. And if ever you want to talk a little bit more about that, I would actually love to support you on this on a call. You can actually book that call with me directly. And on this session, Eva, what we're going to do is actually go through my proprietary Career Growth Accelerator scorecard. It's a really enlightening, super quick exercise where we will actually map out where you're scoring in terms of growth gaps. And on that session, I'm going to walk you through how to fix them and how to make sure that we are getting you that title change. And I would even go for the salary increase as well. But we would actually be able to game plan that together. So if you want to book that, and I don't see exactly where you're joining me from, it's possible you're joining me over on YouTube or LinkedIn. So wherever you're coming from, you can actually go ahead and just book that call directly from my website at tiffanyhuman.com. You could also book it directly from my LinkedIn page. You just scroll down right in the featured section. You're going to see it there. And you could schedule a time for your scorecard review call with me. And we're going to break down all of that together to set you up for success. And if you are joining me over on Instagram, just comment call. CALL, easy. For anyone here that's joining me, if you are a woman in corporate and you are looking to level up and want to get out of your own way, fix your growth gaps, and land better roles or faster promotions, speak with confidence, and all of the things in between that actually matter, just comment call over on Instagram, and I will send you the details to schedule that in with me. You and I will be chatting directly to go through all of that together. Um, okay, fantastic. So Eva, let me know if that's helpful for you, and please let me know if you're able to schedule that time to chat. I would love to do that. I see another question here coming from a Traveler Girl. How to get visibility in remote roles, especially being an individual contributor? Yes, I love this question. It's one I've gotten a few times recently too. So, remote roles do require more proactive effort to get visibility, but it is so crucial. And no one is going to just come knocking on your virtual door to tell you to do that. So, I'm going to tell you to do that. And here's how we're going to do it. Okay. So, first, you want to get intentional with the types of people you want to have more visibility with. You probably are speaking with your manager to a decent degree, but there might be other stakeholders that you want to speak with or be more visible with. So, one, if there's meetings that you can be a part of, that you can have more face time with, that you can have an active role in, take advantage of that, right? For example, if let's say up to now as an IC, your manager has typically been leading conversations and meetings with some important stakeholders, well, you can absolutely tell your manager that for the next meeting, you would actually really love to take an active role in that and share more directly some of your updates and progress and whatnot, and carve your time in that meeting virtually to give you that type of that visibility and exposure. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is actually ask for virtual meetings with stakeholders that you want more exposure to, and you could use being remote as a way of doing that, right? You could share it as an example with your manager of saying, I would love to actually meet one-on-one with my boss's boss, so your manager's boss, especially because you don't have as much face time with them working remotely. You do believe it would be important to do more of that, especially this year, given your growth goals and having them see you more in action. And so you can start by actually asking to do that with both your manager and your manager's manager. So it's the three of you in a meeting, if that feels more natural. Or you could even say, like, I'd love to have a one-on-one with my manager's manager. And because you speak with them more regularly, do you have any tips or guidance of how I should best go about that? And the beauty of the second part is that you are now getting your boss or manager as like an ally to you in this. So they don't feel blindsided. They don't feel like you're overstepping them, but they're able to actually support you make the most of one of those moments. Another thing that you can do, and just let me know if you're able to in the Instagram chat here, is if you have like physical access to an office, right? Maybe you work remotely, but some team members actually work in an office, or it's more hybrid. You can take moments to actually go into the office, not every day, obviously, but maybe for certain key moments in the quarter. Maybe there's meetings that are coming up. Maybe there's some more face time you want to get there with some influencers in your company that will allow you to actually further bridge that bond. And I would recommend doing that where you can. We actually have one of our clients that we're supporting who just started in her new role recently. And a lot of the leadership team is based out of New York. And she literally is on a travel this week in New York. And we game planned the entire conversations and visibility moments we wanted to capitalize on for her. So she had this all mapped out before even going anywhere so that she knew when she's there, she can capitalize on each and every one of those moments with those important decision makers. And of course, as she's building her reputation and personal brand in her new role, this is all the more important to do that when she's typically working remotely from these leaders. So I just wanted to share that as a very practical recent example of how you can do that as well. And let me know if that gives you some good inspiration to go off of. And of course, if you are interested in learning more how I can support you more in this, please don't be shy. Just comment call on Instagram right now on the live, and you'll be able to book a one-on-one call with me. It's free. And on that session, I'm going to share with you my Career Growth Accelerator scorecard. It is my proprietary scorecard that's going to show you very quantitatively where your growth gaps are and how we're going to fix them together to make sure that as an IC working remotely in your role, you are getting the needed exposure and visibility to get ahead faster. I can tell you this one shift alone is game changing in helping you get the growth that you want within your organization. And no one is going to tell you to do it. You have to prompt it for yourself, but there is a right and wrong way of going about it. So hopefully these insights has helped you get some more inspiration there. Okay, I'm loving all of these questions coming through. You guys are fantastic. I want to make sure I didn't miss any because I know we're almost at time. Let me just see here from LinkedIn. Oh, Eva, yes, absolutely. I can't wait to speak with you and go through your scorecard with me. I can tell you, whenever I do this with incredible women, they're like, oh my gosh, like this is so accurate, but also really validating, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in like a wake up call kind of way of what's holding them back and really seeing it in that light. And then being able to get my guidance of what we need to fix together to support you on that. So I look forward to doing that together. Okay, I think we might have gotten through all the questions from today. And of course, not to worry if you haven't had a chance to share. I do these typically every Friday. I will be here next Friday. I know it's a holiday, but if you guys have some time and you want to hang out, please be sure to join me. I always love supporting you on your questions, giving you real-time coaching support. Make sure that you are not standing in your own way to level up faster. And all the more important, guys, we are like halfway through the year right now. We're like literally at the end of June. There are 6 months left on the year. That is, time that's going to go by like this. Let's make sure you are intentional. You are strategic. You are proactive, doing the things that actually make a difference to land better roles, get more senior positions under your belt, get those promotions secured, get those raises coming in a pretty major way, and also just show up with full confidence, right? Because you deserve that. And if this is helpful for you, please let me know in the chat before we wrap up. I would love to know what stood out to you, what your takeaways were. Let me know if there's a certain topic you want me to tackle more in our next sessions together here. And of course, if you haven't already, please be sure to join my free newsletter. It is published 2 times every week. If you're joining me over on Instagram, just comment learn and I will send it your way in your DMs, plus my 50 best scripts to get seen, heard, and promoted faster. It's already helped thousands of women. I can't wait for you to take advantage of that. If you're joining over on LinkedIn, just head over to my link in bio. You'll be able to join us there very easily and get those scripts too. If you're over on YouTube, you'll see it in my description. But again, please feel free to get it from my website or at tiffanyhuman.com, of course, or even over on my LinkedIn if that's easier for you guys. Wonderful. And if you guys are also interested in speaking more with me directly, getting more personalized support on where you're at and making sure that this is the turning point year for you, please don't hesitate to book a call with me directly. Like I said with Eva and some of the others joining us here today, on that call, we're actually going to go through my proprietary Career Growth Accelerator scorecard, which is going to help you very clearly map out your biggest growth gaps of what's holding you back and preventing you from reaching your goal faster. And I will walk through specifically which levers we need to pull on for you to fix that and do that fast. So if that sounds like what you need right now and you're so ready to get all of that support to level up, let's do it. If you're joining me over on Instagram, just comment call before you hop off. I'm going to share those details to your DM so you can schedule that in. And if you're joining us over on LinkedIn, just head over to my profile. A little down in the featured section, you're going to see a link to either join my newsletter or also schedule that call with me, and we can do that together. And if you're over on YouTube, of course, just head over to my description. You'll be able to access all of that there too. All right, guys, I think we got through all the questions, and you are so welcome. Seeing a lot of thank yous coming through. I'm so happy to see that. I see one last question here. Hi, Tiffany, it's me again, and I'm so happy to see you. Oh, I just got a job interview last Tuesday, and I think I did good. Hopefully, I'll get the job. Oh, and the job is process and ecosystem officer. Okay, well, first off, huge congrats. So good to see you again. And I can't wait to hear more updates. I think you already grabbed it, but just in the case you didn't, definitely make sure you have my Nail Your Interview training. Just comment interview below. I think you got that the last time. Which has probably supported you a lot in crushing this interview. But if not, just comment interview over on Instagram and I'll send that your way. Okay. It's a great training, really, really helpful. And please keep me posted. This is so exciting. I know we're seeing so much incredible traction with our clients this week, just like multiple interview rounds coming through, moving into final stages, moving into offer stages, other members that are like literally securing their promotions as we speak. Just so exciting to see this happen, as I know there's a lot of negativity out there, a lot of confusion, a lot of overwhelm. I never want you guys to feel that way. So thank you for showing up here and showing up for yourself. This is like the most important thing you can do. I'm all about giving you real talk guidance, practical guidance that just works so that you don't have to go through trial and error and worry about figuring this out on your own. That can be really frustrating. And so I'm so glad we had a chance to do this together today. I will be back here next Friday. I hope to see you guys as well. I also want to wish you all, already leading into next week, a happy 4th of July if you're celebrating, or happy Canada Day if you are celebrating. And thank you all for your wonderful questions today. Please don't hesitate to shoot me a DM. Let me know what stood out to you, what your takeaways were, wherever you're joining us from. You know where to find me. And on that note, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone. See you next Friday.